It is holy 3:14 a.m. and I really should be sleeping because I have class in the morning, but I couldn't sleep yet. So I decided to go on a roll and make this video. So first, this is sneak peek, the emotional support dumplings. They're so cute. I'm about to give this one away, but you can like detach them and like they're so cute. Anyways, look at this. Okay, yeah. I was chatting with some of my friends and there's like, I was at this debate and this guy was like, "Oh, do you think I did worse than Ramya?" Like talking to his friends. I was like, "Oh my God, like that's kind of mean." Plus, I thought I did a good job. And then I talked to my friends about it, and they're like, "Yeah, like we heard him like in class say something like, oh, like if Ramya wins, I'm gonna kill myself or something, or like beats me or something like that." I was just like, "Oh my God, like what is this? This is." Interesting reactions. And she was just like, I just think, like she said, one of her other friends said, the reason everyone seems to hate Ram, or not, no, they don't, not everyone hates it. Certain people like to target me is because I'm just like so happy all the time. Like apparently that is like a legitimate reason why people. And that made me feel better, not gonna lie, because when I was hearing this, like these comments for the first time, I was just like, well, that was a little hurtful, not gonna lie. I'm just like, well, we're classmates. Anyways, doesn't matter. I'm here to talk about business lessons. So learned a lot in the past few years. First things first, I would like to set the frame, being that um so I'm still not that good at understanding power dynamics. I'm like pretty terrible at it. I think naturally speaking, I come from a very different mind space. I grew up, in servant leadership, nonprofits, volunteering, and it's just power dynamics are weird. I think when I read like Robert Greene's 48 Laws of Power for the first time, I was like, if you had given me this book any other time, and then right now, I would have thrown it away, just been like, burn this book. Like, that's so terrible. Because I was very idealistic. I mean, I'm still very idealistic. But, parts of the book, there's actually one specific law that's like, everyone admires the bold, no one admires the timid or whatnot. And all of a sudden, like, people always seem to admire, like, that I just, like, did, like, big things or whatnot. And I did this naturally. And I like after reading that law, I was like, oh, that's why people like that so much. I don't know. But other than that, a lot of the laws or whatever I like have experience in real life. But I also think that those laws are just a terrible way to live your life. Like even within, my company, we like I mean, I'm just bad with power dynamics, so I just like don't you. Like I'm just like no, like I hate that. So I'm not doing that. It's like equal, like flat hierarchy as much as possible. And we're gonna continue to like innovate or whatnot, but continue to innovate in a way that's like at all costs. Like let's say that there's managers in the company that I create. There is no incompetent managers. Like any egotism and a manager and they're immediately not going to be a manager. Like, no. Like, I think law number one of the laws of power is like never outshine the master. Oh my God, I've like made, I've done that accidentally so many times, even though I've like read that law. It's whatever. It's fine. It's really fine. Um, yeah. So what was I saying? Right. Okay. So there, first, I want to prime you and say, like, in your friendships and your everyday life, in any relationship, you should not be using power dynamics. You should be very genuine. And I actually think that this should apply in business as well. That being said, when it comes to certain things, like for example, raising money, I've chatted with a lot of people who've raised like millions of dollars, and oftentimes it comes down to first of all, I mean, just like knowing people really helps. Um, but second of all, it's just all about stacking a bunch of calls. in like a limited time window. So just like a couple of weeks and having like a large volume of calls from like a variety of different firms. And then like a lot of people are going to say no, and you only need somebody to say yes. And like you want to kind of figure out like what's your priority, like what's your tier list. And so tier one VCs, the ones you really like, you want to put at the very end, stack at the very end. Tier two and three, like you want to do the ones you care less about, like earlier on. That way you can have more term sheets to then negotiate with the tier one VCs who you really want to work with. And what's really interesting is, I was talking with some founders and they're like, yeah, you have to like play the game. Like they've raised millions, right? They're like, oh, yes, like you have to pretend like, oh, yes, I am that. Like I am the next Mark Zuckerberg or whatnot. Um, and so it's really funny. Like, I just thought that was so funny because basically one founder told me that she raised, millions and, like their business model was all wrong. Like, and I was just like, now, obviously, like that we pre-seed early stage, that's like completely normal and fine and whatnot. But it's just like, why are VCs so emotional? Like, obviously, everything is emotional, but it's like always look at the fundamentals and the substance, like value investing. Like, oh, but I guess you don't know. With VC, you don't know. There's a reason that, because everyone's just looking for that, like, yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess you don't really know. Airbnb, like you can't really predict these things. Okay. It makes sense. But like I just think it's so stupid. But I'm telling you, like this is what I've heard at least. Like people like act a certain archetype because people pattern match, like, oh, you're gonna be successful. I just think it's still so stupid though. I just personal opinion. Um, I still want to see if there's a way to like genuinely raise money where it's like, okay, like I have this really great, like, just like a lot of traction. The fundamentals are down. Because again, I don't want to raise money until it's like the fundamentals are completely down. Um, and just like be like, yeah, like we're going to be a unicorn. You know what I mean? It's not like we're pretending. It's like we are going, like, or whatnot. And so it's just. Yeah, like I think when it comes to philosophy, there's also, the way things are, like some people use these power dynamics or whatnot. I just think these are also like fluffy. Like I think it's unnecessary. I don't know. I just think I see the world very differently. Like I said, if I'd read the 48 Laws of Power any time earlier than age 18, I would have like burned it and be like, this is terrible for the world. But by the time I was 18, I'd seen certain things happen that could only be explained by like the things in that book. And I was like, oh, so that's what was happening. Because I don't naturally get it. Like maybe like I think Robert Greene says some people naturally get it, like the power dynamics or whatnot. Even now, a lot of things just go over my head. I don't like I don't really care. I think it's just stupid. Um, but I think that one thing I realize is part of this comes from, okay, I could be wrong, but I think the more secure you are, or like the more like, I don't know, used to you are to like genuineness, authenticity, the more you lean into like, I don't know, self-security and like, not playing into these power dynamics, thinking they're kind of BS. And now that's just my hypothesis. I could be wrong. But yeah, those are just like some things I've learned in business. And with that, yeah, random 3:20 a.m. rant. See ya.